So we were left at identity with the country, right? And then you go to school, you go to primary kindergarten, and then you start being bullied by kids, or you have good friends. You have both memories, see, the pleasantness and unpleasantness, collective, right? In primary school, secondary school, university, you graduate, and I am an engineer, see, I am kindergartner, I am, right, I'm a teenager, I am an adult, right? And then identity with the gender, I am a woman, I am a man, I am confused, who cares, right? Then identity with religion. I am a religious man. I am Christian. I am this and that and this. Now I am a spiritual person. See, all this is thought. I am whatever, whatever, whatever. So whatever is attached to the I am, ignore it. Right? You hold on to the I am. Whatever is attached, it's going to keep on moving. It's not that there is no attachment to it, means there is no identity with it. So that what I think is not what I am. It's just thought. It's just it's a brain image. Right? And then when the ego comes to an end, or is about to come to an end, right? So to speak, it's not even there, but then all this begins to surface. It doesn't matter anymore. When you know what the mind is, it is not. Thoughts in the brain gives the impression that there is a person, right? That there is somebody, there is nobody, it's just thought. Then when you know what the mind is, then there is no mind to worry about. Because I believe that the mind is real and that it is me. Oh, Jesus, you're going to be in troubles all the time.
That's true.
It is thought, it's not me. The mind remains used as a tool, it still is a tool for interpretation, right? Still, you can verbalize that interpretation, you can sing it, you can paint it, it can be expressed in any possible way, it doesn't really matter, right? But it is free from conflict already, see? All that will go. You can have, I don't know, a horrible memory from childhood, sex abuse, I don't know, verbal abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse. You may remember that without any psychological interpretation, right? Should, shouldn't, because according to this, it shouldn't be happening, and then God says, and then the psychologist says that this is normal, and God says this is normal. Who cares? It's too late. It is. See, when anybody tries to fix it, talk about it, think about it, and analyze it, it's too late. It already was. It's not even, it was. And what is happening in the real phenomenon is not a thought. Thought is the interpretation about it. And it's completely subjective. The brain is already, the world that you perceive already is a subjective reality. There is no objective reality. So the world that your brain, the image that your brain makes is subjective. Imagine how can you have an objective thought about something which is subjective, and in reality it doesn't even exist. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, doesn't mean that it is not there. It's like it has no reality at all. It's a whole bunch of protons, neutrons, electrons, whatever, they got together, right? A whole bunch of stuff that they were put together. They didn't put themselves together. They were put together to create organisms more intelligent, more capable for survival, and the rest of it is all, right? And because I believe that I'm a separate individual cell, I superimpose that limitation onto anything. Oh, look, the scientist is a separate independent particle, right? Or a molecule. Or see its multiplicities every day because the mind, the consciousness, not even the mind, the consciousness there is split into two mentally.
But then it's like it's very strange that we are thinking and worry and like making plans about something that even doesn't exist. Like
if you make no plans, right? That doesn't mean that you will not perform an action, right? But the action will develop, see, by itself, right? And if you need to plan something, okay, it's because of the need of this moment, not because of what you want. This needs to be done, and it has to be done now. That's all. But if you have a little idea, and this needs to be done, but I want to do something else, the conflict begins, see? Seeking for something different than what is there, and what really needs to be done there and then.
then it's like mind is playing by itself, no? It's like there's nobody else. It's like
everything is playing by itself. See, this body and whatever thought happens here have the same freedom of choice. Sorry? Who is playing wizard? No, the mind is not wizard. The mind is a trick. The wizard is the absolute. And then undifferentiated energy is a magic stick. The rest is illusion created by that.
No, what I meant by mind is just like in itself. It's not like it's playing in itself. It's like just thoughts, and it's not. I mean,
there is nothing in this universe that possesses free will. It doesn't exist. As I said, this body and the thought that appears here has the same free will that the thunders that I can hear now in the clouds. It's like the wind. The wind has no freedom of choice, either to blow to the east or to the west. If something is blowing the wind, something is shining the sun, something is flowing the river, right? So this body is not different.
it's like it's illusion of the ego that it controls something.
The ego is the idea that there is a separate individual self in control of something or of itself. Right? And I'm a separate individual person or a separate individual soul, right? Capable to choose to do this, that, or the other. When people say go with the flow, yeah, there is nobody. There is a flow. There's nobody going anywhere with either with the flow or against the flow. And believe me, life is not going to become a garden of roses and amazing because the ego disappears. See? If the ego disappears, shit may still happen. So you may be engaged in a moment of turmoil or whatever it is, and a family issue, big discord, or whatever it is. But if there is no ego, it's like. If there is ego, I will have to borrow the words of somebody else. If there is ego, the thought process is linear. The story is a continuity, right? Otherwise, it's vertical. Well, sometimes there is continuity because it keeps on happening more frequently. But the bottom line is that you won't be really affected by that. So you can go through any experience, through any phenomenon, and remain somehow sane. The one that created the apparent ego is the only one that can destroy it, because if the ego is not self-created, if it doesn't have autonomous existence, it cannot destroy itself. That's one of the biggest illusions ever. That there is a person there that is going to destroy the person there. Okay? That the ego can destroy the ego. The only way to destroy the ego is to realize that it doesn't exist. So in reality, there is not even an ego to destroy because it's just a mental image. It's a thought form. So if you leave it alone, hello, God is there and I am here. Then who is this I am? This I am is nothing but consciousness, which is also, okay? The consciousness is basically the reflected light. It's the result of the reflected light of this undifferentiated energy in the brain, right? In deep sleep, that light switches off. Yes or no? There is no sensory perception, right? There is no body consciousness, right? Because there is no consciousness. Actually, when everything disappears, like in deep sleep, or when you faint, or when you are under anesthesia, it's called unconscious state. The dream state is called subconscious state. It's your subconsciousness. What you are not conscious of is underneath, and then you become conscious of it in your dream. Awakening state is so-called general consciousness, right? All that is consciousness. Consciousness, subconsciousness, unconsciousness, collectively is consciousness. In the awakening state, there is beingness, right? In deep sleep, there is no beingness. No knowledge of existence, no knowledge I am, no sense of self, right? Now, isn't it you who is aware of the fact that sometimes beingness is present, sometimes beingness is absent? So that you is you as the absolute reality. And everything else is you as an illusion. So both are you. So there are no two. So even to say both, it makes no sense anymore. because there is no you. All that is you. What else? Then the idea to put attention on the I amness, okay, is to remove the attention from the body of physicality or right, sensory perception, pleasure, pain. There here you have to put the body like a stone. You leave the body alone, right? Feeling whatever you feel in heat, cold, nice food, noise. You leave that alone, right? The mind, you leave that alone, right? But you are conscious of all that already. See, there is consciousness of body, there is consciousness of the mind. The attention, who is conscious? I am. But apparently this I am is either the body or the mind, yes? You doubt that, right? And then the attention goes to the I am. It may get stuck in the body, but it will move forward. See, this idea that the body is conscious will disappear. And then consciousness is now free from body identity. The identity with the body disappear. And you realize that, again, the body, consciousness, because the mind is absent, body, consciousness, right? That absolute existence shows up, and the energy that appears to be trapped, individualized in the body is released. Right? This is what the yoga is trying to do. This is what the yoga is trying to do by the means of austerities and all that. To wake up the kundalini. You don't have to do anything. It wakes up by itself. An awakening, it is so stupid, the misunderstanding. Awakening of the kundalini is not only the arousal, that you can feel that energy in its pristine state, right? In an undifferentiated, non-differentiated state. Is that energy itself that frees itself, right? From the belief that it is only one body, it is everybody. See, this is the so-called oneness or non-duality, but still, this is at the level of phenomenon, and this is also an illusion. Duality, non-duality, right? Ego, egolessness. All that is thought. Because that absolute existence doesn't know any of this, just it is. And it's aware of it, but it doesn't know what it is, what is it that it's aware of. It doesn't know anything because it is all it. So it doesn't know anything. It doesn't even know itself because it has to again split into two, right? If it is a totality, how can it can only be it, right? This is why this says to know it is to be it. So,
I have another question. It's like some years ago when I was asking like this feeling about I am, and I went through this awareness, like who is it? I like in this I amness, like something happened to me like many times, and just like I don't know, just something disappears, and it was like a feeling of joy and like no mind and all these things, like absence of
Absence of what? Absence of unpleasantness.
No,
Physical and mental.
Absence of thoughts. It was like no thoughts. It was just like
Yeah, good. Absence of thoughts, but not absence of thought. The absence of plurality, multiplicity, right? But the I thought was there because still, apparently, that experience, see, was Pavani who has it. See.
yes, definitely. But anyway, even these experiences, it was easy happening.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's temporary.
It's true. It was temporary, and recently this not happening. Like I'm going this thought like I am, and nothing happens. Like nothing. I'm just like.
This is a so-called quiet mind. It's not the mindless state. The mindless state, the egoless state, the I-less state is when the thought I am the body is gone. And that is called non-duality. See, because there is no I and you.
And it gone forever? Or it come back?
The thought I and you will come back. Because how can I talk to you? But it is known, that mind you cannot call ego anymore. Because first, it is illusory. There's no person there, it's your thought. And second, it doesn't have separate existence. So you are no longer concerned about physical activity, body activity, mental activity, and the rest of it.
So it happens once and that's it. It's like
no, in many cases, they believe to be what we are thinking comes back. So we experience, there are few cases, very, very rare. Okay, it's an exception, like Ramana Maharshi and few others. Okay, when the idea that the ego exists disappears once for all. In most of the cases, it disappears temporarily, but it comes back. Why? Because I still have a little bit of an issue here, right? And I believe that this is me, it is personal, right? And it affects you positively or negatively.
So how to get rid of the mind then?
There is no how. How means methods, right? Are they physical or mental? Yes? Leave the body alone, leave the mind alone, and bring the attention to your own sense of self.
Like I am?
Yes. Beingness, call it whatever you like. I amness.
But there is somebody who is aware of this beingness, right? Like
yeah. There is not somebody. There is awareness of beingness.
Awareness
Isn't it you?
Awareness.
Who is aware of your own sense of self? Somebody else or you?
Me.
So that awareness is you as absolute existence, nameless, formless reality. And everything else is also you. see, as relative existence, right? They are not to you, it is all one and the same. Not you as a person. Actually, there is neither personal nor impersonal. See, impersonal still is personal.
Thank you very much.
Huh?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
¿Alguna pregunta en español? По-русски вопрос? Русский вопрос? Нет?
Если есть у кого-то вопрос, у нас осталось время на то, чтобы ответить на один.
Hay espacio para una preguntita más. Bueno, no.
Buenas, César. Hola. Te quería preguntar que qué es exactamente el estado de Samadhi.
Samadhi quiere decir no diferenciación. Para que no haya no diferenciación, la idea de dualidad tiene que desaparecer. La dualidad aparece cuando la identificación con el cuerpo surge. Donde aparentemente el cuerpo es un sujeto, ¿sí? Yo, ¿cierto? Yo soy el cuerpo. Entonces yo te experimento a ti como un objeto separado de mí, ¿sí? Aparezco yo y apareces tú. ¿Mm? ¿Cuántos hay?
Sí.
Dos.
Múltiples.
Entonces, luego yo estoy separado de ti. Separación, yo soy diferente de ti. Diferenciación, yo soy independiente de ti. ¿Mm? Yo soy mejor o peor que tú. O sea, la ausencia de todo eso es Samadhi.
Vale, ya está. Sí.
Donde no hay ningún fenómeno que se perciba como separado de la energía que lo creó. ¿Mm? Y esa es la condición, a lo que me respecta, sine qua non, para que aquello que está más allá de todo eso se revele. ¿Mm? Como la fuente de todo eso. Energía, materia, conciencia, ego.
Vale. Sí. Pero no es como un momento en el que la identificación desaparezca. O sea,
Sí, exactamente.
sí.
La identificación desaparece. La persona desaparece. El individuo desaparece. Inclusive la idea de alma individual desaparece.
Pero como que no hay un darse cuenta de eso, es simplemente...
Claro que hay que darse cuenta de eso. Lo que no hay es alguien que se dé cuenta de eso. Si no te das cuenta de, si no hay un darse cuenta de eso, ¿cómo se puede decir que la identificación está ausente? ¿Y cómo se puede decir que la persona como tal no existe, que el ego como tal no existe?
Sí, sí, sí. Pero, bueno, que cuando te das cuenta, supongo que ya te das cuenta para siempre.
No, en la mayoría de los casos no. En la mayoría de los casos, la idea de ser, lo que uno piense, desaparece temporalmente. Y eventualmente, permanentemente. Son unos casos muy excepcionales, como Ramana Maharshi, y muchísimos, pocos, donde el ego colapsó de una vez por todas y más nunca volvió.
Vale, vale. Ya está, era eso, César.
Entonces, hay periodos de tiempo donde el ego está ausente.
Ujú. Y la conciencia sigue activa, o sea, si no estás en sueño profundo, la...
No, en el sueño
Sí.
profundo no hay, en el sueño profundo no
Sí,
hay
sí,
conciencia.
digo, si no estás en el sueño profundo, si estás despierto,
No entiendo.
es que, sigue habiendo conciencia del mundo de alrededor,
Claro,
obviamente.
claro que sí, sigue habiendo conciencia de mundo, pero no hay, el absoluto es absoluto silencio. Cuando el ego está ausente, hay conciencia de mundo y a la vez está el silencio absoluto. ¿Me sigues?
Vale, sí, sí, sí.
Entonces está todo y nada, ¿sí? Y se hace obvio que todo y nada son una y la misma cosa.
Vale, sí.
Eso viene acompañado con la liberación de una energía, ¿ok? Que es la que realmente está atrapada en identificación con lo que ella misma manifestó. Esa energía creó al cuerpo, ¿verdad? Le dio conciencia al cuerpo y creó el ego en el cuerpo gracias a la voluntad del absoluto. ¿Me sigues?
Sí.
Por la voluntad del absoluto.
Y bueno, una cosa que ayer escuchando una de las charlas, dijiste algo del sueño profundo y eso como que no sé, no le veía sentido, no sé. Y de repente como tuve hubo un pensamiento de la muerte también y del nacer también. Como que eso que somos realmente que no muere ni nace ni nada. Pero, claro. Y sí. Y en el... mm,
¿Puedes participar en la reunión de esta noche?
no, porque son las 2 aquí, pero ya he terminado.
Sí, porque me tomaría tiempo elaborar y tengo que salir a hacer algunas diligencias ahora.
Vale, sí, sin problema, sin problema.
Si no, con mucho gusto.
No pasa nada, no pasa nada.
Sí, es la famosa Kundalini o Shakti que todos tratan de despertar a través de esfuerzos, mantras, tantras, yantras, ejercicios, austeridades, una pérdida de tiempo. Aunque uno no haga
Vale.
nada, aunque uno no haga nada, que se quede quieto. ¿Mm? Se disuelve el ego, esa energía se libera, se revela también, de manera inofensiva. Si la despierta el ego,
Sí, ya está. Está bien, mañana sí eso hablamos un poco más.
el sueño
Más tiempo.
profundo no hay nada, ¿cierto?
No, no hay conciencia.
Pero tiene que haber una conciencia absoluta, presente, ¿m? Consciente de la ausencia de la otra conciencia que es relativa, obviamente. O tiene que haber
Sí,
algo que
eso no...
tiene que haber ver la presencia y la ausencia de la conciencia, ¿sí? Tiene que estar aquello que ve, que es ver mismo.
mm,
O sea, que
Eso no...
ser realmente significa ver.
Pero yo, por lo menos en mi experiencia personal, no
¿Mm?
conozco otra cosa que sea, no conozco otra cosa que sea ver que sea la conciencia. O sea, o no sé si diferencia entre conciencia y...
No, te pediría que habláramos mañana para que pusieras todo eso en un
Sí, sí.
orden.
Vale, vale.
Porque, ¿en qué? Pues que pongas la pregunta, el orden, los comentarios en orden, si tal vez por escrito. para que puedas elaborar. Más estructurada la pregunta, es más fácil de responder. Yo te entiendo
Vale.
perfectamente, pero
Vale, vale, sí, sí. Ya está, lo voy a hacer eso. Mañana hablamos.
lo que uno llama conciencia es el conocimiento de ser. En el sueño profundo no hay conocimiento de ser. Ese es el estado inconsciente. No está el cuerpo, no está la mente, el pensamiento yo soy del cuerpo, y no está la conciencia que es el yo soy.
Vale. O sea que creo que está confundiendo el término de conciencia, creo. Probablemente.
¿Tienes el librito de existencia absoluta?
¿Cómo?
¿Tienes el libro Existencia Absoluta?
No, no.
¿Estás en Facebook?
Sí, sí.
Te tengo
Sí,
dentro del grupo de amigos.
creo que no.
Okay. Ya. ¿Has escrito por WhatsApp?
No tengo tu WhatsApp.
Ok, entonces. Busca, aquí hay dos páginas de Facebook, pero no, si cancelo la una se me va la otra. Entonces, pon mi nombre, César Teruel,
Sí.
y ve esta foto. ¿Recordarás?
Sí, lo tengo aquí.
Entonces, mándame un mensaje por Messenger
Sí,
y yo te mando el libro.
vale. Para el grupo de amigos.
No, bueno, si estás en el grupo,
¿Cómo?
no, te lo mando directamente a tu Facebook.
Vale.
Escribe un mensaje por Messenger y por Messenger te mando el libro.
Vale.
Ok, abres el documento y ahí está el libro.
Vale. Ya está.
Ok. Entonces, hasta la noche o hasta mañana. See you tomorrow or tonight. Uh, Russian, sorry, I don't know.